Connection. How important is connection? So me standing here, I would say maybe 20% of the people listening to me really talked with me. And so when I listen to people, I really listen on a different layer, different level, a different frequency. I connect. And when you connect the way I'm speaking of, and I'm going to explain it, hopefully it changes your perception and the way you connect with people as they're communicating. There was the movie, it escapes me now, but they communicated their love for each other by saying, I see you. And that's kind of how I see it. You use the word love, right? I love walking. I love you. I mean, it's all that common. Love is very general in what we speak of. But when you say, I see you, how does that feel? Doesn't it like, yeah, I see you, right? It means I'm connected with you. It means I'm here present with you. I am here and now for you. And so that's how I like to, approach life. I see you. I came up from a family, I'm the fifth of 6 boys. However, I grew up with 3 other brothers. So 2 of them actually were twins, and they were stillborn or died shortly after. So there was only 4 boys growing up in my household. And I'm actually here to tell you that because I never really connected with them until I did some deep dive. I went through the ministry school, but you can attend, you can be part of anything, but until you put in the work, that is when the real magic happens. And so I connected with them, I mourned them. My wife is an only child, but she is an only child growing up. She also had a sister, an older sister. I mourned her as well. It was very emotional when you go through and you do these connections. I will tell you, I was growing up and we really didn't talk about it, really not until I decided to go inside and figure out what's going on externally as well. That allows us to connect. So you can imagine, I was a babe in arms. My mom knew something was up. She took me to the pediatrician, and I will tell you that I was suffering from encephalitis. Encephalitis. I can never say the word. Your brain's swollen is really what it is. And I guess as a newborn, of course, I told you I was the fifth, she already lost 2, and I imagine her mind going crazy, going to the pediatrician saying, hey, there's something going on with Michael, what's going on? He immediately, this is the stories being told down, of course, I was not remembering at this stage. He immediately said, you go to the hospital now, emergency room, I'm going to have them prepare for you immediately. And he knew what had to be done. That saved my life. I am here. I'm a miracle. We're all miracles, right? I'm a miracle standing in front of you, knowing that I'm communicating something for something in my life that had to be going on. That one came through. So after that, we grew up, I would say, in a very religious world. It came into a point where I was transitioning out of that. The veil, I don't know if you guys see, something is lifting, something is brighter, something is going, something is happening. And we got married, and I would say I was introduced into something spiritual related versus religious related. A huge difference, right? I will tell you, I was gifted with this knowledge of the difference, and I'll share it with you as an analogy. Religion is something you learn. You're programmed, you are told what to say, how to say it, when to say it, where to say it, how to act, what not to do, And it's kind of reminded me, I was actually walking past a tennis court and I saw this instructor. He was teaching tennis to one of his pupils. And I said, that's religion. That kid is being told how to hit, what to do. In fact, you can't even keep score. You can't even go, like, you're playing tennis, right? If you don't know tennis, you can't be, oh, I scored 1, you scored 0. Oh, I scored 2, you scored. It's 15 love, right? It's 30 love, 40 love. In fact, you can't even win unless you win by 2. It goes into deuce, right? So you can't even understand. You have to have a racket, you have to have a ball, and you have to stand on the court in a particular location, and you have to hit the ball in a corner, and they can't go outside these white lines. What's the difference? You are to now, innately, I play tennis. I love tennis. Innately, what they don't teach you is how to be good at it. The passion, the inside. I call it archetypes. If you are an archetype coming into your own, as an archetype, you're a sports player, you know, you're hitting the ball and that kind of stuff, but they can't teach us how to be good and passionate about something. And that's something very spiritual, right? So spiritually, you are born. I was born with everything. We were born with everything you can ever imagine to connect with spirit. That's right. You came into this world knowing and being part. And then you were programmed and changed and told what to do. And you're surprised you didn't know any better. No one knew any better. You basically are coming out. And so what happens over time is you start saying, there is something going on here. I am spiritual being. I am manifest. I know this part. And then you're digging into yourself and you're understanding that. And now you're on programming, you're on layering, you're on seeing, you're starting to say, I feel lighter, I feel love. I see you. What does that mean? I see you. Why do I say I see you now? I love you. I see you. Okay, I'm with you. Be present, be here now. Those are totally different words as you stand here and you hear me say these things compared to what I would have said 20 years ago. I was also born with a mind that didn't race. I never knew that people had minds that raced until I would learn people. Like, I don't know what it was, but I always have a mind that I was able to blank out. And I didn't. It's so helpful, but living and learning through my childhood, my mind started getting unprogrammed, and I started racing minds and stuff like that. You worry things and you tell yourself and stuff. And so all that was by the wayside. And now I'm an adult thinking, I wish I had that mind back where I could actually just collect, fresh, restart. And so the reason why I say that is because filters. We have filters. The way you perceive, the way I perceive. We all have filters in the way you talk. I communicate. Are you biased towards something? Are you a way of communicating? I'm spiritually driven, so I'm more biased on the spiritual side. But when I communicate, I have a filtering out. And when I receive something, it could be from you, it could be from spirit. I hear it a particular way. You can hear 2 messages at the same given time in the same room, and 2 people will walk out of that room, different messages. And what happens then is how you communicate and the way you receive. And so it's a 2-way communication. So I communicate. And so I will tell you the starting of my journey was, okay, so first of all, I was introduced, you read books, I read books. I was addicted to books, addicted to everything. I mean, I was reading, absorbing, I was a sponge. And then I was actually on my phone one Saturday or Friday looking to say, hey, what's going on, Bucks County? And so I was looking at things to do, and I saw that there was a spoon bending class. Yeah, and some people don't know what spoon bending is now. You wait. And I'll talk about it. And so spoon bending, and then also so my archetype is healing. So I've always had a passion for helping people heal. And so that was so it was also spoon bending and healing modality type of thing. So spoon bending was the first time I was able to take what I knew, receiving energy, being part of energy, being part of the flow, and working really with the energy. Now spoons, okay, so how do I do that? what you do is through intention, through connection, and what that allows us to do is, let's say it's a simple spoon, it's a normal spoon. It's a spoon that you have at home, you have a lot of them, you live through your life. And so the idea of spoon bending is actually being able to bend the spoon at ease. But everybody can manhandle a spoon. Everybody here, hopefully, can take a spoon and bend it. That's not the purpose, that's not the reason why the class was there. It was a matter of connection and resonating. And when I say resonating, is when you resonate, I see you, I feel you. It is being connected with it, is knowing, and there's the energy of metal of the spoon, and also the way you connect. So this is the first time I actually connected on an energetic level with an object and put the intention to allow the spoon to soften, and to a point where you can actually really manipulate that spoon, not just bend it in half. You can actually bend it, move it, manipulate it. And you do it through intention. You have the spoon, you put the intention, you see the energy, you see it, and actually they have the word called spin. You understand the flow of how the energy is moving within the spoon, and you connect with it and you say, well, gosh, and then you intention. I intend for that spoon to get soft and move. And then you just set it aside. It works. And over time, what you let it sit for 5-10 minutes, and you come over here, and this spoon will actually be pliable. Now, some of us in the class, actually, some people from Circle was in the class. It was surprising to see, not in a positive way. And it was interesting. Some people got it, some people didn't. But it's the filters. It's allowing how you connect. It's bringing spirit into your life, allowing it to. Energy flow is all part of connection. And so digging in deeply within myself, and I just want to bring a few more things up, is when you allow yourself to connect with spirit, it's a two-way street inside you. Inside you, you get blocks. Do you get blocks from spirit? Sure, right? You get blocks inside. Energy, okay, so your organs, but guess what? We are nothing but vibration. We're energy, we're vibration, right? My skin vibrates differently than my blood, has a different vibration than my heart or organs, right? My clothes vibrate, they have a vibration to them. And so inside, you are a vibration. Externally, you're a vibration. And so it lets you understand that I actually, in October of last year, had my heart was a very serious situation. It actually was acting up. And it was like beating erratical. It was beating fast, slow, anytime it wanted, really. It was pounding like my chest was coming out, the heart was coming out of my chest. And what did I do? Oh, of course, I went to the doctors, right? Like, what's wrong with me? Fix me now. This is kind of weird. And the problem is, I'm like, this is emergency. I need attention. I need it now. I jumped in with both feet to this problem. I was seeing, I still am, a holistic practitioner. And I said, hey, something's going on. And she works with energy with me. And I said, what's going on? She goes, you have a block, something going on with you. I got to work this out. I was having a lot of stress. And that was the main keeper of that thing. It was like, stress in your life is one of the lovely things you get to deal with. And so when I was dealing with it, it was getting stuck. And that was what the energy flow. So if you get blockages inside as well as you get blockages in tripartite communication. So connection is about internal as well as external. And so what did I do? Every morning, you can ask anyone in my household, I woke up early every morning. Not some mornings, not if I felt it. Every morning I woke up. Yoga, meditation, Reiki, energy healing, communication, just in general, inside. And there was another item, there's another something else you were connecting. Someone gave me another modality type of thing, a technique. And these are all techniques and how we come into it. And I will tell you, I even picked up a second holistic practitioner. I was seeing 2 healing practitioners a week. Every morning, I was listening to the doctor. I cut out exercise. I was taking care of me. I was connecting with me. Now, I'm telling you, up until October, I thought I was pretty connected. I did. And then all of a sudden, you get something new. And I was going through a lot. And the thing I learned is that everything is removable. You get something, you can also remove it. And talking about connection with energies, going back to spoon bending, is that inside this works the same. And so, was it November, December, and then in January? Now, I rarely took my medicine, I must say. I'm confessing, I confessed to my doctor, I had very open with him, said, I take your medicine sometimes. And then I stopped taking it sometime in January. He says, why? And I called him up, I says, I just don't have any more symptoms. I don't feel my heart at all pounding anymore. I had a heart monitor, by the way, I was doing that. Oh, I had stress tests. Oh, you know, and coming into the diagnosis part of it is pretty, you know, brutal awakening, because I was in the hospital on a treadmill. Have you ever had a stress test? I had all this thing, EKG thing on me. I was running around, and it was like, they stopped halfway through, right? It's like, okay, I have a problem. And so at January, a couple months later, I said, I'm not taking it anymore because I have no more symptoms. Oh, you can, you got to keep on thinking. Okay, I mean, I'll take it a little bit more. Then I went and took a second stress test in end of January, beginning of February. And it was completely gone, complete zip, nothing. And I said, well, after I was done, in fact, it was even, this stress test was at a different place in the hospital. And at that stage, I was done with it. They had me wearing a mask during it. The first one I didn't have to wear a mask. The second one I had to wear a mask. So I'm doing this treadmill, running around, cables. And by the way, you have to wear this mask and you have to talk. So those nice nurses are there talking to you all the time while you're doing a stress test. And they have to have you talking while doing a stress, because that's the actual test, to make sure you're getting everything out of you possible to stress out your heart. And so I was going all that, and at the very end, they had me going steep, and they steep up, you know, and I was, at the end, I said, so how did it go? And she said, it was good. I said, what do you mean good? Was it normal? Because it was normal. I said, normal, normal? Normal. And I said, normal, okay, that's great. So then the next day, the doctor came and called me from the hospital. They read my chart and says, everything looked good, Mike. I says, great. Did it look good? And was it normal? Because it was normal. I mean, normal. And he said, normal. And I went on. I said, it's okay. So then my doctor called me, my cardiologist. He called me 2 days later. He says, everything was good. I says, I don't know what you mean. He says, looking good? I said, normal? He says, yes, it's normal. I says, normal. And he said, normal. And I said, normal, like I came off the street with nothing going on and came onto the stress test and everything was fine. Yes, as if you had no side of anything. Just telling you, there are so much, your thoughts are so powerful, and intention, and just the way you think. Self-talk is nonsense. Listening to spirit. I will tell you that when I opened up, spirit talks to me all the time. All the time, it like never stops talking. And it's just the way it is. And if you listen, the self-talk goes away and the external talk starts. And you can actually feel it and understand it. And when you do like energy healing, it's not energy communication, it's actually connections. Everything is together. Everything is inside you as well as outside. It's the same. The closer you are internally, the closer you are to the spirit. I guess my time is getting pretty long, so I will leave you with this. If you're looking to connect, internal is the way to go, because internal is external. And your body will appreciate it, and you'll love, and you'll start seeing yourself for who you are, a spiritual being. Namaste.